Imagine a river full of people on a hot Sunday afternoon, and the people are having a good time enjoying the cool water on a hot day. No one notices that the 2-year-old has taken off her life jacket. That happened to me when I was 2 years old. My mom was on the opposite side of the river and I wanted to go to her. So I jumped in. My 16-year-old uncle noticed that I had jumped in and he dove in to save me. I am lucky to be alive and here today because of him. All too often, near drowning experiences happen in waterways and pools across the United States. I have reviewed several journals, the CDC, the World Health Organization, and newspaper articles to gain information and insight into this topic. While water safety is important at all times of the year, it is especially important now, and for all ages. It is especially important also for children between the ages of 1 to 4, because more people are going outside right now to enjoy the warm weather and the cool waters. During this speech, I will discuss the statistics on water-related death and injury for all ages, but especially for ages 1 to 4. I will discuss the risk factors for this age group, and I will discuss preventative measures to use to keep children safe. First, I will discuss a couple of the recent drowning stories that have been in the newspaper. Last week, 2 3-year-olds drowned in Kentucky along the Indiana border, within 1 day of each other and only miles apart. According to the Courier-Journal, both children were wearing life jackets at one point, but an adult removed them so that they could play. A conservation officer that was interviewed for the article stated that these tragic accidents highlight the need for using life jackets at all times, whether on a boat, on the shore, or in the water. The deaths of these young children are certainly tragic, but they are not uncommon according to statistics. The Pediatric Digest article written in July of 2010 states that children ages 1 through 4 experience the highest death due to drowning at 2.5 deaths per 100,000. That number nearly doubles for children ages 12 months to 36 months at 4 deaths per 100,000. Drowning is the second leading cause of unintentional injury death for children. According to the Consumer Protection Safety Commission's article from May 2012, 75% of drownings are in children under the age of 5. Additionally, according to the Pediatric Digest article, these child drowning deaths are 2/3 during the months of May through August, and disproportionately so on Saturdays and Sundays. The risk of drowning death is exponentially increased when small children are unsupervised around areas of water. According to the CDC, Unintentional Drowning Get the Facts article, adult supervision is key. The Pediatric Digest article from May of 2010 states that 9% of all drowning is in home bathtubs or buckets for children under the age of 5. Another risk factor for drowning and death in small children for ages 1 to 4 is that they're not wearing a life jacket. The story of the 2 3-year-olds who drowned in Kentucky highlights the importance of not removing life jackets while on the water, as well as the importance of having constant supervision to prevent catastrophe. Yes, catastrophe can strike anywhere at any time for any ages, but certain preventative measures can help prevent this. Swim lessons don't drown-proof children, but they do prevent drownings. The Appeal Democrat article from June of 2013 discusses types of safety swimming lessons for young children, particularly called the Float for Life. Float for Life is a system that teaches children 9 months to 3 years old to roll onto their backs and float to the edge of the pool should they fall in. The Float for Life program is just one example of a preventative measure that can be taken to keep children safe. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, Dr. Ruth Brenner, Prevention of Drowning in Infants and Children, there are many ways, and they are as follows. 1. Install a fence around your pool that separates the pool from the home. Be sure the fence is 4 feet high, has no openings under it. The fence should not be chain link because children can climb it. It should have upright slats that should be no more than 4 inches apart, and it should have a self-locking, self-closing gate that sways away from the pool area. Pool alarms and pool covers are important, but they are no substitute for barrier fences. Close and touch supervision is also recommended. The adult in charge of the supervision, called the designated water watcher, according to the Pediatric Digest, is a person who watches the children, supervises the children, but should not be distracted by any activities such as reading, conversations, or playing on their cell phones. Lifeguards and CPR training are key and are essential to drowning prevention in children, according to the American Pediatric Academy and the Pediatric Digest. The CDC also suggests to always use life jackets that are approved by the U.S. Coast Guard and never use air-filled toys such as water wings for safety devices. In summary, water safety is relevant at all times of year for all ages, but especially now because more people are outside enjoying the waterways and pools. Remember, drowning is the second largest cause of unintentional death in children. Know the risk factors: leaving children unsupervised or not wearing their life jackets. Utilize preventative measures such as four-sided fence barriers. Maintain touch supervision. Designate a water watcher. Swim in areas with a lifeguard when at all possible. Had I kept my life jacket on when I was 2, I may not have had a near-drowning death or near-drowning experience. And if it weren't for the watchful eye of my 16-year-old uncle, I might not be here today to tell you about the dangers for young children near water. Thank you for listening.